Okay, everyone, this is our new consultant training for July 13th, 2022, and we are recording this session. So this will provide some training for our new consultants, but also some refreshers for our directors as well. So we'll be running new consultant training each week, and then one of the weeks in the month we'll also be running our team meeting. So we'll have 3 new consultant trainings every month. So if you want to come back at any time, you'll have that opportunity. So just a quick introduction. My name is Lorraine, and I am a senior director with Pampered Chef. And this is actually my second round as a consultant. I was a consultant for about 16 years and then took a break and then recently came back in the thick of COVID. And I thought, what a terrible time to join, but I'm so glad that I was wrong. So this time right now is a pretty incredible time with Pampered Chef, because of the economy and because of gas prices and inflation. You know, more than ever before, Pampered Chef is flourishing because the simple fact that everyone has to eat. I heard a funny little quote that said, even if you wanted to try to buy a house without a kitchen, it's not possible. So we always remain a very relevant company, which is super, super important when you have a direct sales business. It's also super important that you are on a good team. And thankfully, you guys have chose us. We are part of one of the top teams in the country, and we have all kinds of systems and processes in place. So you should be able to put your foot in the door and open it up and move forward even without us. So we are definitely here to help you, guide you, and support you, but you are certainly welcome to move forward beyond our training timeframes. So today we're going to actually start off with a little activity, and in the chat, I put a document, and hopefully you can open that document. And I wanted to take the first like 5 minutes or so to have you guys pull open that document. And if you can't print it out or you can't type in it, you can just make a list while we're waiting for a few more friends to join. So this list is called a Frank's list. And the person who gets the most names on their list, I'm going to send them a prize in the mail. So if you have a notebook and you can't print this Frank's list out, go ahead and pull out your notebook. And on your first sheet of paper, it's going to say, you're going to put the letter F. And what I want you to do on that first sheet of paper is to write down every single friend you can think of. It can be friends that you email, friends that you text, friends at work, friends in the neighborhood, your best friend, whatever the case may be. So for an example, it says your best friend, an old friend, a friend from high school, college, a new friend, childhood friends, any friends that you can think of. Fill up that first grouping with the letter F, and that's going to be all of your friends. So let's take a 1 minute and we'll fill that first sheet up with the letter F for friends. Karen, I'm not sure who that iPhone is. And if anyone's, Carol or Karen, if you guys see anyone come in that I'm not aware of, just let me know.
The iPhone is Regina.
I was just gonna say it's Regina. She responded.
Oh, good. Okay.
I can't do the list now. I'm actually on the road. But
well, why can't you pull out a piece of paper while you're driving? No, I'm kidding.
Well, you know, I mean, I've been known to do a lot when I'm driving, but
me too.
I do have limits.
I know it. I know it. Don't worry. We'll get this list to you after, so you can kind of just like mentally brainstorm while we're chit-chatting here. But thank you for coming.
Actually, I have that list at home.
Okay. Good. Good. Perfect. Okay. All right, so we have about 30 seconds. And Carol and Karen, I know you guys are going to have some more people on, so you may want to direct message them, see if we can, maybe they're having trouble getting in or may have forgotten. Feel free to do that. Okay, let's move on to the next letter. So the next letter in Frank's is R. So R is going to be relatives. So these are going to be your closest family members living in other states. Remember, this is limitless since we're doing this online. We are not limited to our area. We are nationwide, as well as even in some military bases overseas and things like that. So even ex-family involved, family members. You can put on think about your Christmas card list. A lot of times that really helps. Like I remember when I first started back in 1998, they said, pretend like you are planning a wedding. When you plan a wedding, you don't leave anyone out, right? So that's kind of the key when you're building your list. So these are going to be family members in different states, family members you hardly ever see, family members on Facebook, on a Christmas card list, or again, even ex-family members. All right, let's go to letter A. A is going to be maybe a little further reach. So this is going to be your acquaintances, people that you kind of know in passing. Maybe there's a lady that at the bus stop that's with her daughter and you always see her, but you don't know her name. That would be kind of an acquaintance. Or your hairdresser, the person who does your nails, the bank teller, people that you see sometimes or often, but you aren't super close to them. And you may not even know their name, but you always see them kind of thing. So that would be acquaintances. And the letter N is for neighbors. Neighbors are going to be obviously the people that you live next door to, the people on the left, the right, the front, the back, anybody in your neighborhood that you can think of. And you even can think of like friends of friends. So for an example, my sister is on the phone here and I can remember one of my first parties was with her friend. She didn't want to host, shame on her, but now she's here. So she's learned the error of her ways. No, I'm kidding. She didn't want to host. So I was thinking to myself, okay, well, I know a few of her friends. So I messaged one of her friends and her friend Nikki ended up hosting a party and has been a customer forever since then. So you just never know. So don't just think of the immediate people you know, think of friends as well. And then that would be your neighbors. And then let's go on to the letter K. Letter K is going to be a good one because if you have kids, even if they're young or old, doesn't matter. You can easily think about people that link to your kids. Like my daughter, she has a friend who has a couple of kids, loves to cook, and she would be a good person for me to call. Things or connect with. If your kids are in sports or dance activities, any people that or any friends that you know through your kids is kind of the concept there. And then the S stands for social. So this can be people that you know and talk to on social media. It can be your Facebook friends, Instagram friends, TikTok friends, whoever friends. Friends from church, bunco, book clubs, the gym, even friends through your spouse or your family friends, types of things. So this list is what I would definitely consider like a working document. It's going to be something that you can pull out at any time. And the reason I wanted you to create this list is because oftentimes, and when we're thinking about people that would help us start a business, we have a tendency to prejudge and say, oh, they wouldn't want to do this because. But what you're going to find in this business is that you have a 50-50 shot of getting a party. And if you ever took those odds to Las Vegas, you would win, right? Because a 50-50 shot in any game is tremendously high. So the only way that you won't get the answer that you're looking for repetitively is if you don't ask them. So if I didn't continue to ask my sister to be a consultant, she may never, ever have joined Pampered Chef, but I was persistent and knew when I could kind of plant that seed and continue to plant it. So that's the idea of just continue to ask until somebody just says, no, I'm not interested. No, not ever kind of thing. So you'll use this list often with your director to continue to build what we call a party schedule. So again, I want to welcome everyone to the call, and we do have a couple of new consultants and some seasoned consultants that are on the call with us today. So I wanted to take a moment to kind of go through a couple of things that are good to know about with your Pampered Chef business. So I'm going to share my screen here real quick, and I'm going to take you to Consultants Corner. And Consultants Corner is where the magic happens. It is where you're going to find everything you need. Now, I will tell you, it's not as intuitive as I would love it to be. So sometimes it's a little bit of a hunt and a peck. So what I encourage you to do is try to find things yourself. But at about the 5-minute mark, if you can't find what you're looking for, that's the time to kind of wave the white flag. And we have a group of consultants that will help you find what you're looking for if your recruiter or director is not available. So can you guys see my screen? No. Interesting. Okay. Let me go and try to share it again. Maybe if I said share, that would help. Okay, here we go. All right, how about now? Okay, so you see, welcome new consultant. Okay, so this is what your new consultant page is going to look like, and ours looks like. So the very first thing you'll see up here is Consultants Corner. So that's where everything begins. So if you look at Consultants Corner here, and then you look down, I'm going to mute everybody because there's some feedback that's coming in, and I'm not sure where it's coming from.
Sorry, that's probably me.
Okay, I'm going to mute you, Julia. Thank you. Okay, so you'll see here Consultants Corner, and let's say that you wanted to look for if the food chopper can go in the dishwasher. So this is the search bar that's basically going to let you find anything and everything that you're looking for. So at first, this looks a little bit like, oh, what am I doing? Where am I at? So what you're going to do is you're going to come here. Are you looking for a product? Are you looking for a recipe for the food chopper? Are you looking for resource information? Are you looking for videos? So whenever you type in a search of any sorts, it's going to list everything that has what they consider the best match. But this is a great resource area for you to go to find what you're looking for. Again, it's not always super, super easy. So it's going to be a little bit of a trial and error in the beginning. So when you are going into your business, the very first thing that you need in order for your business to thrive is going to be parties. So we're going to show you the first ways that you can start doing just that. So these are your resource areas where you can find images, where you can find reports, where you can find how to get paid. All that is sitting here. So the STIR, that's all current information, like what's happening in the month of July, what's happening in the month of August. So very, very current information. Explore is going to have some more in-depth type of information and training, and that's where we're going to go today. So Explore, you'll see here, and you'll see all these different subcategories. Do I want information about parties? Do I want information about marketing my business? Or we're going to go to training. So everything is here right at your fingertips. And you'll see here, I went from Pampered Chef's Consultant Corner to Explore, and now we're here. So we're going to go under New Consultants. So I will tell you that you will have way more information in here than you'll probably ever access. I know I've never accessed everything in here. So this here is basically just for you to kind of search around and find what you're looking for, or we'll guide you to where you want to go. So this is just a welcome video. So let's go ahead and go down to the 5 things that you should do in your first week of your business. So you may want to take a moment and write some of these things down. Although they are right here for you, there are some things that are really imperative. And one of them is your financial information. So you want to do 2 things right away. We all want to get paid. I'm going to safely assume that. So, oops, let me enter this person. So the very first thing that you want to do is under Explore, then New Consultants, you want to click on Set up your financial information. This is where you're going to be able to set up your direct deposit and also set up what's called your OPA, which is your order payment account. So whenever you give away a free gift, a $5 gift, $2 gift, whatever, Pampered Chef will credit you, or you'll have a brief credit, and then they'll pull it out of your bank account. So you're going to set up 2 things, direct deposit, and then you're going to set up the OPA, order payment account. The next thing that you want to do is you want to sign up for the next New Consultant webinar. They happen all throughout the month, usually once or twice a week. You would just click the schedule webinar, and then you'd be on that Zoom call and having some additional training. Then we want you to connect with your recruiter. So right now, this is what's considered New Consultant Training Call 1. There are additional calls. And also after this call, we'll be putting you in a New Consultant Training group, so we can help you continue the effort to get parties and to be successful. So I'm going to actually take a quick snapshot of everyone who's here so I can make sure that I add you guys all to that New Consultant group. So you're going to connect with your recruiter. She's going to guide you, or he's going to guide you through some additional training pieces and kind of be like your buddy and helping you get your business started. If you haven't actually facilitated a party as of yet, or maybe you did a host rewards party, they'll help you set up what we call a launch party. That launch party, they'll run with you, so you'll be able to get experience, but also will help you maximize the sales, the bookings, as well as the recruit leads. So that's number 4, connect with your recruiter. And then 5 is really the most important thing, because we don't even need to set up our bank account if we don't have parties, right? So we're going to help you get the new business from your bookings, as well as there's also going to be people that are interested in joining our team as well. And we'll talk more about that as we go through. So here are your tools and resources that you'll want to make sure you really look into. We're going to talk about today as well. It's called the Fast Track Rewards. A bunch of money is set on the table for you as a new consultant in your first 90 days. And so we want to help you maximize that and get every single dime that Pampered Chef has set aside with your name on it. Then we also have Dash. Dash is a step-by-step training. Technically, and you want to write this down, you want to just really take the first 10 classes in Dash. I remember when I first heard 10, I'm like, Lord, I don't have that kind of time. One class could be 1 minute and 30 seconds. One class could be 60 seconds. And then one might be 5 minutes. So it usually takes about an hour to get through all 10 classes. And I would try to, if you can, sit down and just hammer through all of those as quickly as possible. And then we also have Consultant Scoop. That is going to be a Facebook community just for new consultants. So in Explore, and then under new consultants, that's where you're going to find all this information. So let's take a look at Fast Track. So this Fast Track rewards are going to be available for you as the new consultant. And I will tell you that there are so many rewards on the table. One of them, many of us just returned from national conference. And for those of you that just joined, you actually are going to be able to receive what we call double points towards our incentive trips, which they've never done before for new consultants. So this is super exciting. So when we sell $1, we get a point. When you sell $1, you get 2 points. So this is the time to maximize your effort. And the Fast Track Rewards is right on point with those types of rewards. So let's take a look at what that means. So Pampered Chef wants to give you as many products as possible, because they know the more products that you have, the more you're going to be able to share their products and sell them. So Pampered Chef does what's called a Fast Track Rewards program. So in your very first level, and sometimes these are subject to change, but when you submit $500 in between now and July 31st, you're going to get this whipped cream maker and scraper. I do think that's changing, but I'm not 100% sure. So again, things do change. And by the way, the national average for a party is $500. Our team is over $650. So the likelihood of you hitting that in your first party is extremely likely. In addition to that, level 1, August 1st or after, okay, this is where they're doing the change. So that's going to change after August 1st. So this is not going to pertain to you guys. So let's go for level 2. So if you signed up between May 1st and July 31st, when you submit $12.50 in sales, which oftentimes happens in your first party, if not in your first 2 parties. So my first party when I joined Pampered Chef was $2,400. So I earned level 1, level 2, and I think almost level 3 in one party. And that's just because I followed what the trainer told me to do. And invite this many people, do this. And I'm just like one of those people that will say, okay, just tell me what to do and I'll do it. And that's truly the idea of how you want to kind of take this business, because we've done it. We know it. We're never going to guide you to do something that we have not already done ourselves. So anything we're encouraging you to do, it's because we know it works and we've done it ourselves. So this is a really cool new product. It's called our Deluxe Multi-Cooker. And when you submit $12.50 in your first 30 days, you're going to get that for free. That's like a $350 item you're getting for free. Then as you see, as your sales increase and rise, you'll be getting more additional products. And this here is what everybody wants. So when you submit $5,000 in your first 90 days, most of our new consultants will hit that 90 days. Some do it in 60, some have done it in 45 days, and some have done it in 30. It just depends on what you're looking for. So this is what we call the new consultant selling rewards. So you sell, you get rewards in addition to your paycheck. And every month there's a bonus as well. So we'll talk about that later. So the other step to the fast track is when you recruit. And I can remember as a new consultant thinking, well, how can I recruit? Like, I don't even know what I'm doing. Don't worry about it. As soon as you have somebody that expresses interest, that's your time to go back to your recruiter and say, OMG, I have somebody who sounds like she might be interested, and we will help you get them signed up. If you get them on a chat with us, 99% of the time, we get them signed up. If you try to do it by yourself, not going to happen. That's just straight up being honest, because we know the things to look for, the words to say, the things to do. So as soon as you get somebody, especially when you're brand new, filter us in so we can help you, and we will be their coach and trainer. So just like your recruiter is not on here doing the training, you won't be doing that type of training either at this point. So let's look at some of the resources for new consultants when you sign up other consultants. So this is where it gets really lucrative. Where did we just go? And why did we do that? Hold on. Let's see, maybe I can show you here. No. All right, give me 1 second. Any questions while I'm looking for this real quick? All right, let's go back into new consultants. And by the way, all this information is also going to be on Dash. When you log on to Consultants Corner, it's actually going to show you this purple block, and then that will show you how to get to Dash. So let's do some recruiting here. Let's see if we can get there. Okay, here we go. So there's a couple of things that are going to be changing. So again, sometimes things change throughout the process, but this is basically how the new consultant rewards work. So if you're here to make some money, listen up. This is your vehicle where you can make unlimited income potential. And I always feel like that sounds so cliche, but it is, because it's absolutely true. Zig Ziglar, he's a motivation, or was a motivational speaker. He said, find a business that you can make money while you're sleeping. And this is one of those businesses that you can do just that. But you can't do it if you're sleeping and you're the only one. But you can do it if you're sleeping and you have other people on your team. And that's how you can maximize your income potential. So this is as simple as it is. So your success is definitely our top priority. And so this is one way that Pampered Chef is going to celebrate you. So when you promote to a director, which is 5 people on your team, it can happen in 1 week, 2 weeks, or a year. It just depends on what you want. I've seen all different scenarios. So when you promote to a director, 5 consultants on your team, 2 of them have to come from you. The other 3 can come from people that are on your team. You're going to get a $500 bonus from Pampered Chef. Boom, it's in your check. Not only will you get it, but also your recruiter will get it. So if your recruiter is Carol, Karen, Lori, Julia, our job is to help you, because when we help you get what you want, ultimately we get rewarded as well. And so it's a team joint effort. So when you sign 5 in your first 90 days, you get a $500 bonus. And when you do that for the second and the third month, you get another $500 bonus. Then when someone on your team also does what you just did and did that 5 thing as well, they become a director. And by the way, Carol on the call here, this is what happened to her. We helped her promote Lori, who was on the call here. So that meant that Carol got a $1,000 bonus, and so did her recruiter. So let me tell you what, $1,000, $500 bonuses, they are awesome. Like, you don't usually get that in any type of job, corporate America, anything like that. So these are pretty cool, substantial bonuses. So keep track of your 90 days, because those 90 days make a big, huge difference. So on your on your front page of Consultants Corner, the Pampered Chef is going to help you track everything. It's going to say, okay, you just submitted $1. You are this far away from the first level. Okay, you just recruited 1 team member. You are 4 team members away from this. When you pull it up on your phone, you pull the Pampered Chef up on your phone, the app is going to immediately come up and say, you're this far away from this level. You're that far away from this level. So everything all the time will be at your fingertips. So you'll be able to see exactly where you are and where you may want to go. So let's talk about how we're going to get this ball rolling. So let me share one more screen with you. After the call, each of you are going to get one of these as soon as I find it here. Where did it go? Oh, here we go. Okay. Let me share the screen. So we have a training system called the 7 steps, and you can do whatever you want. You can hop around and go from step 1 to step 7, but we did lay this out in a strategic manner. So we know that the path that we've established works. So my suggestion would be to finish up everything on the first step and then go to the second step, because everything that you learn in step 1 is going to be the platform for step 2 and so on. So it's a good idea to stay on the course. Can you see where it says new consultant training checklist? Yes. Okay. So this image right here is the document. And every time you see a blue link, now this is just an image, so these are not clickable links right now. But anytime you see a blue link embedded into this document, you can click on it and it's going to take you to another path. Okay, so you'll see here 7 steps to fast track success. Step 1 is Google Docs. And if you know how to use Google Docs, I would still take the class because it's only 2 minutes long, just in case you may miss a key component and not even realize it. You can download it for iOS or Android. And then second step is welcome to our team. So the second step is where you're going to really get into most of the nitty gritty. So what I did is, again, each of you will have one of these after the class, but you'll see here, and this is kind of blown up, so it's a little bigger than, actually it's not blown up, but let's shrink it. Can you guys see that still okay? Okay, so you'll see here step 1, step 2, right? So kind of look at every page like this. So this is the flow right here, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's going to be step 1. Here's the flow again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here are the action items in each of the flows. Here's the instruction for the action item. This is a fillable document, so you can type in any questions that you have. And when you're done, you can just click the checkbox there and put your completion date. So what's going to happen is this document is going to be shared between you and your and your recruiter. So as a result of that, we're going to be able to see, okay, Kayla finished everything in step 1. And so now her recruiter can reach back out to her and say, hey, do you have any questions about step 1? Anything we can go over? No, we're good. Great. Go on to step 2. So step 2 is where we're going to get into some pretty in-depth training and some really good meaty information to help you get these parties booked. So the first one says, watch this video. This is the longest video, but probably one of the more impactful videos of this entire training class.
Lorraine, can you let Hannah in?
Yeah, I just did.
Okay.
Okay, so this video here is going to teach you the importance of getting a minimum of 4 parties a week. Now you might be thinking, whoa, 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 I don't want to do 4 parties a week. Well, I will tell you to train your thoughts to just forget about that concept of not wanting to do 4, because this is what's going to happen, and it happens every single week. At least 2 parties do extremely well. Well, let me just say they do well. Sometimes summer's a little down, but it's going to pop right back up August, September, October. And they're going to be, again, huge exponential parties. So you're going to take that class. It's going to teach you the importance of 4 parties a week. Usually 2 parties are going to do what's called fly. They're going to be out of the gate. They're going to be good to go. They're going to be submitted. You're going to get commission on them. You're going to have 1 party where the host either doesn't invite, doesn't communicate with her friends, doesn't engage them. So we call that the flop party. That's the party that's just not going to happen. And then we have 1 party a week that if you're focusing on recruiting intentionally, you'll have about 1 new consultant that will join every other week, sometimes once a week, depending upon what you're working on. So that video is going to teach you a concept called a whirlpool. And it's also going to show you the images on why 4 parties a week are so important. And it's also going to show you a paycheck. So you're going to see what 4 parties a week does with just you as a consultant. And then it's going to show you what 4 parties do with you and people on your team. So that video is about 45 minutes. Now, I worked out of my home, and when I did, I couldn't always watch these videos, but I would put them in as I was going to work, and I could at least listen to them. So my work on the way was an hour, on the back was an hour, and I was tackling these calls very, very quickly. So if you have downtime, that's a great thing to do. Sometimes there's calls like late at night, like 9 to 10. I know that's not so late, but it is late for me since I have to get up so early. So I will, when I take my walks, I'll put in one of those calls and I'll just listen to the call so I can get in the information, because everything is always like buildable on top of another concept or idea. So that 45-minute is the first video. And then there's a video on Google Docs. Then we have a program called Boards. It's an app that's on your phone. So if you go to Google Play, if you go to the Apple Store, whatever it's called, you will download Boards, and Boards is free. Boards is everything at your fingertips. So when I send a message to my host, I might need to send 5 messages today. I can click 2 buttons and they have all 5 messages. So Boards is a very, very good tool. So you don't have to be stuck at your computer working your business. You can run everything from your phone. Then the next step is to start doing your reach outs. So the only way to get parties is by asking. And as we said, we have a 50-50 chance with every person. Either they're going to say yes or they're going to say no. Now, I'll tell you just to give you a quick idea, the bookings are out there. Do not let anyone fool you and say there are no bookings. That's not true. Between Karen and I, in the last 72 hours, we have booked over 100 new parties, 100 new parties. And that is for July, and that is for August. So don't let anyone, say, oh, summer's not a good month. Summer can be tricky, but I just schedule more parties to allow for that trickiness. But the cool thing is, as a new consultant, you don't run into as much of that trickiness because your friends are going to be the ones who help you. Where at this point in time, being in the business as long as we have, they aren't our friends. They are our customers who eventually, some of them do become our friends. So we want you to go for a minimum of 4 parties a week. And I meant to show you my screen on the other side, but a few weeks ago, I had 5 or 6 parties, and 1 of them worked and the other 5 didn't. Now, it came from kind of a crazy party, but I tell you this because what if I didn't have that 6th party? Then I would have had no sales. So it's important to schedule more than what you need so you get exactly what you want. But 9 times out of 10, 4 parties a week are going to be 2 to 3 of them are going to be submitted, and 1 is going to flop. So if you only have that 1 flop party, you're in the water for that week, and now you got to make it up next week. And we always want to be ahead of the game versus trying to continue to rebuild our whirlpool every single week. So that's what this says here. Make 30 reach outs today, make 30 reach outs tomorrow, make 30 reach outs for the next 5 days in a row. And that's the point of your Frank's list. If you do that, you will have 8, 10, 12, 15 parties on your schedule for July/August. That's a guarantee. See, the beautiful thing about sales, in my opinion, is sales is a numbers game. So if you work the numbers work for you. There's no way around it. When people say, oh, I don't have any parties, it's because they're not doing enough reach outs or they're not following up with people. That is the key. So you want to do 30 reach outs a day for 5 days in a row and watch your business explode. If you can just trust us with that thought, 5 days from now, you're going to be like, yes, I'm so glad I listened to them, because you're going to have the beginning of a thriving business. So we're going to add you to a couple of team pages because there's always a plethora of information out there. One of them being my page called the Read Rockstars. And then you'll also join our national executive teams page and her training group as well. So all of this is going to be right at your fingertips for you to use. So step 1 and step 2 would be your action item for tonight, tomorrow. Okay. Then I'm going to briefly just highlight, give you a high level overview of the next couple of steps, because these you can do on your own and with your recruiter. But again, we're going to put you in a group chat after this call so we can provide additional support and training for you. So step 3 is about booking those parties. So this document here is a document that you'll be using with your director, so you can open that up at a later time. Then there's a little Q&A here. It's saying, hey, do you want to be part of the fast track in sales? Do you want to be part of the fast track director? You're going to indicate that there, and we're going to talk more about that as well. Then it's going to give you information about how to party. There's several different parties. Host reward party, that's your traditional party you experience. We also have what are called shared rewards, which is where the host basically gives up her benefits and everybody in the party can get up to 25% off of their order. And then there's fundraisers, wedding showers, things like that. There's also a booking video that Stacy, our National Executive Director, does, and it's very, very good. And then the other thing that you'll want to do is track your leads. You can track them. Remember that Frank's list that we started to make? The Frank's list actually has an additional piece to it, which I'm going to send you after the call in our group chat. It's going to say, here are the names. When did you call them? Follow up, follow up, follow up. It's going to give you ideas for that. The purpose of the follow-up is so because some people will get the message and they'll forget to respond, or they won't respond, or they're thinking about it. And usually where I get most of my bookings is not on the first time I reach out to them. It's actually the second and the third. And I just finished a round of reach outs today, right before our call, and ended up booking 3 more parties on reach out number 3. And interestingly enough, every single one of them said, oh my gosh, Lorraine, I'm so sorry. I meant to reach out. I meant to follow back up with you. So people are just busy. We are not the first thing. We are not their priority, but they are ours. So that's why the follow-ups are so, so helpful and really, really important when it comes to sealing the deal with these bookings. So you want to track them because you're not going to know whether, hey, did I call Julia on 7/12 or did I reach out to her on 7/12? Okay, when do I need to follow up with Julia? So you need to write down Julia's name. I reached out to Julia on the 13th. You need to follow up with Julia on the 14th or the 15th. I'm so sorry. We all went to conference and me and Karen unfortunately came home with COVID. So I'm on the tail end of it and thankfully almost done, but a little cough there still going on. Okay, so let's see, track your leads. We got that. These are going to be the words to book your party. So we're going to give you the words to say. Everything we give you is tried and true. So that's not like, oh, we just pulled this out of our hat and maybe it'll work. What we give you always works. It just depends on what you want to use. So in other words, for the first reach out, there are going to be 4 different examples that you can use, and you can choose any of them. It's all up to you and your personality, but I would highly suggest that you don't change anything dramatically. So I had a consultant who's been with me for probably about 8 months. And she came up, she chatted with me the other day and she was like, Lorraine, I have to be honest with you. When you gave me that material, I just decided to change it the way I wanted it to. And I know that's why my business isn't doing well. Can you retrain me? And of course, I'm going to say yes. But why waste 8 months of your time trying to recreate the wheel? The wheel's created. Stacy is the top consultant. Everybody in our organization and within Pampered Chef, they want our information. So you have everything on a silver platter waiting for you. You just need to take it and then run with it because it definitely works. And we are all very, very fortunate. So you'll see some additional boards here. Those boards are where you'll have some of your images, wording, things like that. But the key right now is just to focus on getting your parties, because you can't get paid, you can't make money, you can't earn products without the parties. So here's my suggestion. Today is the 13th. I would suggest taking the next 5 days and running with what I just shared with you. Oh, that's my mother back there. I didn't see you. Running with what I just shared. And that is to go ahead and start doing your reach outs right here where it says super important words. Those are the words that you'll use to do those reach outs. And then you'll want to let us know when you get your first booking, when you get your second one, your third one, and your fourth one. But my suggestion would be this. Today is the 13th. My suggestion would be to start booking parties for July 22nd. Once you have 4 parties on July 22nd, then offer July 29th. When you have 4 parties booked on July 29th, then go to August 5th, and so on and so on. Now, is it possible that somebody's not going to want July 15th or July 22nd? Of course. That's where you offer July 29th. And then when they don't want July 29th, you offer a backup. But if you start doing your reach outs and say, oh, well, you can book anytime, they're probably not going to book, because it's like, think about it like this. If you have young kids and you take them into a candy shop and you say, okay, guys, pick anything that you want. If they're young, they're going to probably cry the whole entire time because it's so overwhelming. There's too many pieces of candy and they can't figure it out. But if you were to say, hey, kids, you have 2 choices, a lollipop or a chocolate bar, that's it. That's all they got to choose from. And so essentially, when you give your host 2 options, it's the kid in the candy store. You are giving them options, appearing as if they're guiding the ship, but you're actually guiding it. And of course, they can ask for something different, but most don't. Whatever I offer 9 times out of 10, no joke, is what they take. So offer what you want, the earliest date first, because once you go past that date, you can't go back. So you want to book in as close as you can. And literally, like if somebody messaged me today saying they would want a party, I would start them on Friday. And you're like, whoa, wait a minute, it's almost Friday. That's okay. Somebody who's super motivated can make that happen. And oftentimes, if they're going to ask for something close, they're a motivated person, and we can be off and running in a day. So don't underestimate the power of people, because oftentimes if they're assertive, they'll be able to do that. So again, each of these steps are going to give you some additional pieces of information. But again, we want you to go step by step. The last last steps are setting up your parties. You don't even need to worry about that right now. And then, but you need to know it's there, obviously. And let's see, step 5 is how to run your party. So now your parties are set up. How do you get people engaged? How do you get people to book parties? How do you get your host to be part of the party? That's what this information is going to be about. Then step 6 is how to get bookings from your party. So you see, there's a ton of information here because this is our huge focus through our parties. Our goal is to get, when we have a party, is to get 3 more parties from every party. That's the goal. Anything close to that is fabulous. You always want to make sure you're getting at least 1 or 2 bookings, but the goal is 3 or more. And oftentimes you'll be able to get that. And then the 7th step is recruiting from your parties. So we're going to teach you how to identify who's really interested, how to overcome an objection. So if a person says to me, oh, I'd love to do it, but I just don't have time. I love objections because look at this. This is the greatest thing. Everything right at our fingertips. We don't have to guess any of this. When somebody says, oh, I would love to do something like this, but I love buts because here it is. I'm too busy. Here's your response. My kids are too young. Here's your response. Friends won't support me. Here's your response. I have health issues. Here's your response. I don't have a Facebook. Here's your response. My last consultant who just, not my last, but one of my top consultants who just signed up in March, she had, I think 30 people on her Facebook page. And she's like, I can't do this. And I said, yes, you can. She was the #1 consultant in the entire company in her first 90 days. So if you have the will, we have the way. So just remember, every objection we have an answer for. And if a person would say, no, I'm not interested, there's no objection, right? So I respectfully understand that. And I will sometimes ask them, does that mean no, never, or just not right now? here's the pivotal thing. When you ask that question, no, not never, or no, not now, 90% of the time, 80% of the time, it's just no, not right now. So that means you have somebody you can follow up with a little later. So this here, again, is all at your fingertips, all ready to go. We also, on this last tab, have your lead list. So let's say you go in today and you make a list of 30 people. So if you look at the screen, you're going to see the name, you're going to see day one, you're going to see the date that you asked them. You're going to see, did I text them? Did I send them a message through Facebook? And then you're going to document when you followed up day one, day two, day three, and then what were your results, and then what questions came from it. When my consultants complete this, they love it because then they can go back and do follow-ups with people that didn't respond or maybe said, no, not right now. So this is day one. Then you have day two, day three, day four, and day five. 5 days in a row. So that would be Wednesday, or let's say Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. 5 days. By Monday, you'll be locked and loaded if you follow this system. So let's wrap up here this evening with just a quick opportunity for us to ask any questions that we have. And again, your goal in the next 24 hours, 48 hours, is to get 4 parties on your schedule for July 22nd. So you can unmute your phone and you can ask a question if you'd like. I will tell you, if you're anything like me, I was like, I don't even know where to start. Like I felt so overwhelmed. But then I just remembered what my recruiter said. I can't make money unless I have parties. So then I put on my laser focus and I said, okay, here's how it's going to work. I'm going to do my name, get my names on my list. I'm going to start doing reach outs. I'm going to start messaging people. So I just went straight down my Facebook list. I didn't even think twice about it. Message, write their names on the list, follow up the next day, and 30 more people. Look, the worst somebody can tell you is no or not respond, but usually that requires a follow-up. And oftentimes on that second and third follow-up, you are getting that booking. So any questions you guys have? Let me make sure I have everybody. Let me take another quick picture. So I make sure I get you guys all in the group chat. So I'll put you guys in a group chat, and that way we can continue to help you get your business off and running, whether you're a new consultant or you're just restarting your business. Either is fine, but we want to make sure that we are, locked hands with you so you feel the support that you need, and try to stay in step 1, step 2, step 3 order, and then we will help you take it from there.
Hey, Lorraine.
Yeah.
Christy and Jerry and I somehow got confused. I thought the call was at 9 tonight, so they had planned on making it. But then, it's at 8. So I don't know how I got confused there, but anyway, that's why they're not here. So
Well, it's not your
try
fault.
to make it next week, but we gotta they need to really, especially Christy needs some tips that she can do right now, because I don't want her to miss her 30 days.
Yeah, if you will message me after and make sure I have all 3 of those names. I did record this call because there were several. The problem was, Julia, I made this reservation on Zoom while we were in Chicago, which was in Central Time. And so the time got mixed up and it was my fault. I thought I changed it. But that's okay. I do have the recording so they can watch that. But if you'll go ahead and send me those names, then I'll make sure that I'll reach out to them. We'll put them in a group chat.
Okay, thanks.
Rainey, I have to go ahead and go, but I'll start working on this, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Sounds good. Hi.
Mom says hi.
Hi, Mom.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, anybody else?
I have one question.
Yes.
When do we build our Facebook Pampered Chef page, our business page?
Okay, so once you have you can kind of start doing that now. In the Dash program, there is I think it's step 2 or 3. It will show you how to start your business page on Facebook. So you can do that now kind of simultaneous with doing your reach outs. So just remember, you don't need a business page unless you have parties. So we don't want you to get like tied down with things that aren't going to make money.
Okay, so I can start with the parties and I don't have to worry about the business page right now.
That's right. Like once
Gotcha.
you do a couple of days of reach outs, then we'll get focused in on getting your Facebook page. Laurel, who's your recruiter?
Karen.
Oh,
Cosner?
okay. Perfect. Okay. Oh, Carol. Okay, gotcha.
Carol, I'm sorry. Yes, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I wrote that down wrong. Okay, yeah. Okay. All right. Any other questions? Okay, I'll make sure I get you guys set up in a group chat. And I will filter some documents in there. And as soon as you get your very first party, comment in that group. We want to celebrate your success, and that will help us and you build to get those first parties set up. So thank you guys so much for your time. We're super excited. You have joined the Pampered Chef at one of the most amazing times in the history of the company. So we welcome you to our team and to the Pampered Chef, and thank you for joining us tonight. Have a good evening.